The blind date that ended in a sprint. John Miller, a 65-year-old retired high school history teacher, had always been a man of routine. His days were predictable. A morning walk in the park, a cup of coffee while reading the newspaper, and afternoons spent tending to his small garden. He had been widowed for over a decade, and while he missed his late wife dearly, he had grown comfortable with his quiet, solitary life. His children, now grown and living their own lives, often encouraged him to get back out there. But John had always brushed off their suggestions until one fateful evening. It was his best friend, Mike, who finally convinced him. "Come on, John," Mike had said over their weekly chess game. "You're not getting any younger, and there's a whole world of wonderful women out there. Let me set you up on a blind date. What's the worst that could happen?" John hesitated, but eventually agreed. After all, what did he have to lose? Mike arranged for him to meet Linda Carter, a 52-year-old divorcee who was described as vivacious, independent, and full of life. John wasn't sure what to expect, but he figured it was worth a shot. The date was set for a cozy cafe on a crisp autumn evening. John arrived a few minutes early, nervously adjusting his tie and glancing around the room. He spotted Linda immediately. She was sitting at a corner table, dressed in a sleek black dress and sipping a glass of wine. She looked elegant and confident, and John felt a pang of self-doubt. What could she possibly see in a retired history teacher like me? He wondered. He approached the table, introduced himself, and took a seat. To his relief, the conversation started off smoothly. Linda was charming and articulate, with a sharp wit that kept John on his toes. They talked about their careers. Linda was a successful real estate agent, and their shared love of travel. John found himself relaxing, even laughing at her jokes. For the first time in years, he felt a spark of excitement. But as the evening progressed, Linda's tone shifted. She leaned in, her expression serious, and said, "John, I like you. You're kind, intelligent, and easy to talk to. But before we go any further, there are a few things you need to know about me and what I expect in a relationship." John, caught off guard, nodded politely. "Of course, go ahead." Linda proceeded to list her 4 demands. 1. I expect my partner to fully support my lifestyle. She explained that she enjoyed traveling extensively, luxury cruises, exotic destinations, and 5-star hotels. She expected her partner to join her on these trips and foot the bill. "I'm not interested in someone who's going to hold me back," she said firmly. 2. I need complete honesty and transparency. Linda insisted on access to her partner's finances, social media accounts, and even their phone. "Trust is everything to me," she said. "If you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to worry about." 3. I want a partner who prioritizes me above everything else. This included his children, friends, and even his hobbies. "When you're with me, I expect to be the center of your world," she declared. "No distractions, no excuses." 4. I believe in living life to the fullest, so no negativity or complaints. Linda made it clear that she had no patience for pessimism or criticism. "Life is too short to waste on negativity," she said. "If you can't keep up with my energy and enthusiasm, this isn't going to work." John sat in stunned silence, his coffee growing cold. He had envisioned a partnership built on mutual respect and understanding, not a one-sided list of demands. As Linda continued to elaborate, John felt the walls closing in. He excused himself to the restroom, took a deep breath, and made a decision. When he returned to the table, he politely thanked Linda for the evening, but told her he didn't think they were a good match. Before she could respond, He grabbed his coat, paid the bill, and walked out of the cafe, leaving Linda sitting there, bewildered. As John drove home, he couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of the situation. He realized that while he was open to love, he wasn't willing to sacrifice his independence, relationships, or sanity for it. The blind date may have ended in a sprint, but for John, it was a step toward finding someone who truly valued partnership, not demands. The aftermath. The next morning, John called Mike to recount the events of the previous evening. Mike listened in stunned silence before bursting into laughter. "I can't believe she actually said all that," he exclaimed. "I had no idea she was so intense." John chuckled. "Neither did I, but you know what? I'm glad it happened. It made me realize what I'm looking for and what I'm not willing to compromise on." Mike agreed. "You deserve someone who appreciates you for who you are, not someone who's going to make a bunch of unreasonable demands." John spent the rest of the day reflecting